You got dumped and you wisely went no contact with the ex who dumped you, but your ex has an avoidant attachment style, either a dismissive avoidant attachment style or a fearful one. And don't worry, I'm covering both in this video. But avoidants are notorious for taking a really long time to circle back around after dumping somebody, and sometimes they don't come back at all. So in this video, I'm covering the 5 telltale signs that your avoidant ex is keeping tabs on you. And while that doesn't necessarily mean they want you back, it could if you play your cards right. So let's talk about it. And before we dive into those 5 signs, I do want to give you a quick rundown of the difference between those 2 avoidant attachment styles. Dismissive avoidants keep everyone at arm's length all the time. They fear emotional intimacy, and even though they crave love and affection, they fear letting anyone in too close because they got burned as a young child, probably by mom or dad or both, but they fear getting hurt emotionally, so they never let anybody in. The fearful avoidant, on the other hand, is like that a lot of the time, but if they sense you withdrawing, then they switch to an anxious attachment style and they try and pull you back in close again. So method number 1 is the friend network. With dismissive avoidance, they are going to keep tabs on you, but kind of discreetly, and they're going to appear unbothered when they check in with these mutual friends about you. It's going to seem very casual and nonchalant, and most likely they're just going to be checking in with one person as opposed to a bunch of people. The fearful avoidant, on the other hand, is going to be checking in with all of your mutual friends, and they're going to seem anxiety-ridden and on pins and needles, wanting to know what you've been up to. Method number 2, the social media shadow. The dismissive avoidant is going to be checking in on your social media a little bit, but it's going to be very strategic. It's going to be very controlled. They're absolutely not going to be liking or commenting on anything, and they're very unlikely to be looking at your Facebook or Instagram stories unless they're unaware that you can see the names of the people who have looked at those things. The fearful avoidant, on the other hand, is going to be very impulsive about it. They're going to be checking your social media constantly. They may even be liking things and then freaking out and then hitting the like button again to unlike it because they don't want you to see it. But initially they can't help themselves because they're so impulsive about it. And they're probably definitely going to be looking at your Facebook and Instagram stories, even if they know you're going to see their name popping up. Method number 3, the digital detective. The dismissive avoidant is going to be checking more on places like LinkedIn, maybe checking to see if you've updated your career or if you've changed jobs, that kind of thing. The fearful avoidant, on the other hand, is going to focus more on regular social platforms. And if you're connected on Spotify or other music streaming platforms, the fearful avoidant is also probably going to be looking at that to see if you're creating new playlists and see if they can gauge any intel from what you're naming these playlists or what songs you're including on them. The dismissive avoidant is absolutely not going to be doing that. Method number 4, the location strategy. The dismissive avoidant may occasionally show up at places where it's likely you're going to be, but it's going to be very strategic and it's going to be very infrequent. And if they see you, they might smile, they might wave, but they're not going to otherwise engage with you beyond that. The fearful avoidant, and this is especially true if you're still sharing locations with each other, they are absolutely going to be stalking your every move. They know everywhere you're going each and every day. And so they are going to be randomly showing up often at places where they know you already are because they looked at your location. And they're going to be kind of frantic and kind of emotional, and they may very well engage with you if they see you there. And overall, it's just going to be a much more visible reaction from the fearful avoidant. Method number 5, the comment section study. Because both the dismissive avoidant and the fearful are going to be looking at your social media, they are going to be noticing people who are commenting or liking on things that you're posting, or people who are posting directly on your profile. But the dismissive avoidant is going to be very analytical about this. They're not going to be emotional about it, and they're not likely to kind of cyber stalk the people who are showing up there. The fearful avoidant, on the other hand, is going to be very emotional about this. They know who's on your friends list, and if they're seeing people, especially of the same gender that they are, commenting and liking on your posts who didn't used to be on your friends list, they're going to be highly suspicious. They want to know everything about this person, and they will begin to cyber stalk them. And they're going to be going to their profiles if they're visible to the general public and seeing if you're commenting on anything on their pages. Overall, it's important to stay in no contact, especially with an avoidant and especially with a dismissive avoidant, until they reach out directly to you and indicate that they want to see you. Remember, they left you because they felt smothered, they felt controlled, they felt you were too needy and too clingy. And those fears have to go away completely before they're even going to consider coming back around to you. So you've got to stay in no contact. You can't come across across as needy or clingy or desperate or anything like that. You've got to seem almost apathetic, as if you couldn't care less if they come back or not. Move on with your life, focus on being the best version of you, and that will give you the greatest chance of them coming back. But wait to break no contact until they are direct and overt about what their intentions are. Remember, I do offer one-on-one coaching, so that can be a phone call, a Zoom session, or you can simply email me your problem and I'll record a custom video just like this one and get it back to you within a couple of weekdays. If you want more info on that, it's down in the description or on this card right up here. But let me know your story about what's going on with you down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.